Hey Kansas City, this is DJE Eddie Russell coming live from Boston, Massachusetts here at late hour of the morning. I decided to do a little bit of a video here last second, a little fireside chat, what do you want to call them, Sunday night conversation, Sunday sound off, but it's actually going to be Wednesday now. So I didn't get to you guys on Sunday, and I'm also having this bright light that's in my face, so I'm going to keep this very short. Tonight I was in a car. I just got back from a meeting. I went to a late meeting here in Boston. It's called Last Call. And the meeting lasted about, an hour. And then after the meeting, everybody was walking outside. We were talking. And, I was thinking to myself, I'm just going to walk. So I'll start walking. So I start walking back, and, I ended up getting the lift. And so I got into the lift, and like I said, I'm in an area I'm not even familiar with, being in Boston. And the driver, he's like, I don't know if he just came from picking up somebody and he was really stressed out or what, but he's like, I've had a really bad night tonight, and I just want to get you to your destination, and then I'm done for the night. And I could tell he was really worked up, so I knew my meter was running on my application, so I didn't want to have him just sit there and tell me about his life's problems all night long, because I didn't want to have to pay for that too much longer than we already had talked before he took off. So I just basically said, well, why don't you get going here and we'll talk. Let's talk. So he flat out said that he's been sober for 2 weeks, and that he's been doing this lift because he lost his job. He had been drinking obsessively. His wife left him. He lost his job. And, this was his way of supporting his kids. And he had a clean car. He was obviously sober. He said he was sober many times. And I told him that I just came from an AA meeting. And I'm sitting up on this ledge, that way you guys can see the city back here, but I don't know if you can see it or not with the flash. But anyway, so his name was anonymous, so I won't say his name. But the guy was so cool. He was very, very polite. He was very nervous. We almost got hit by a big truck on the way back to the destination of where he was going to drop me off. And he was just like, oh my God. He's like, and he had this really thick Boston accent. I don't think I could pull it off, but pulling it off by doing the accent. But he's like, oh my God, oh my God, my car, I'm so nervous. And he pulled over, and he's like, I'm just going to turn it off and cancel this, and you just don't worry about it. And I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I need to step out of the car and smoke a cigarette. I really am nervous. So I knew this guy was really, not feeling it, man. He probably should go home. So I, at this point, still don't know where I'm at, somewhere over in the middle of downtown Boston. And so I debated on just getting another, Uber or Lyft. But I decided to stay there and just be with this guy for a minute while he was talking. And he had a Boston Red Sox hat on, so I knew he was a baseball fan. And so we were talking back and forth, and talking about life and different things and what job he used to do and everything. And I told him, I said, I just came from an AA meeting. And, I really had a good meeting, and it was about gratefulness tonight, and just being, how grateful we are to be alive and what we're about and stuff. And he was like, oh, dude, I gotta try that out. I gotta try one of those AA meetings. I was like, yeah, you do. They really work, man. I'm not trying to sell you here or anything, but, it really saved my life. So anyway, long story short, also, we ended up getting back in the car. He drove me, and I gave him a cash tip. So, and it was about exactly what he would have made, maybe a little bit more than my computer fare on the application. So it ended up being a really nice talk. And he turned around to me before I got out of the car, and he stuck his hand out, and he said, dude, you're like the coolest guy from Kansas City. I've never met anybody from the Midwest being out here, and you just really have a nice personality. Your calmingness, your talk, everything we just did really made me feel relaxed. And he said, I'm gonna go home for the night. I'm done, and I'm gonna start back over tomorrow. And I told him, I said, dude, you're doing great. Just take it one step at a time, one day at a time. Those cliche things are really true. And you know what? When we get to those stressful moments, it doesn't matter what we're going through, if we're recovering from alcohol, marijuana, or whatever we're doing, if you just take a deep breath and just, if something's not working, just stop and just start over again. It's so easy to get so, frustrated and angry and upset if we don't get things accomplished. But you know what, man? This world is too short anymore, and we have to slow it down a little bit. Just downshift a little bit. Try to slow down. Try to calm your mind, calm your body, and make society a little bit easier. Show your actions before your words, and just do things. Just do things for other people. Maybe it will save them from doing something dramatic, or possibly build up towards that dramatic thing that they might be thinking about. So just remember, society is hurting out there. And if we can all just take ourselves to be accountable and get out of our phones for a little bit, listen to people, focus on other things, what's going around in our surroundings. That's why I like going to meetings, is actually having human interaction, talking about things, about life, about problems, about what's going on. That's the best part about this whole program. So you know what? Tonight was a good night. The Royals won in Boston. I had some really great conversations at the meetings that I went to. I saw some really amazing things today, and I'm closing things up here close to 1 o'clock in Boston. So I got a long day of other stuff tomorrow, and I will be in Detroit on Thursday for the Royals versus the Tigers, and to see my good buddy Laz Diaz, the umpire. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great, wonderful night. Bye-bye.